What is going on, you guys? Bastion Elijah here, coming at you with my Darkest Diablos Lair of Darkness deck profile finally. I'm a little late to this. I know I was going to say I was going to bring it out on Friday, but I wasn't ready. I still want to do a little bit of testing. I took it to locals, forgot the extra deck. Like, it was just a whole mess. But I finally got a deck, build, I should say, that works for me, that I am confident in taking to possibly even a regional, but this is just like the pure build. Probably not going to be the best version of the deck because there's many things you can mix it with. Infernoid being the most popular right now, or Brandish coming out in about a month or so. We'll probably mix with this deck a bit. But right now this is the pure Lair Darkness deck, so let me just get right down to it. I am missing one card from this though, so first you got off 3 Darkest Diablos, your boss monster deck. You special summon him, hard once per turn on the summoning. Each of the effects are hard once per turn for this. You can summon it whenever you tribute a monster on your side of the field, so if you tribute off your opponent's side of the field, you can't summon him. Keep that in mind. And also you can tribute a dark monster and your opponent places a card from their hand or from their hand to either the top or bottom of the deck. So overall, pretty okay boss monster. It's pretty much just a free 3k beater that you can summon. But for the most part, he's pretty good. The best card in the deck though, by far, definitely has to be Lilith. Lilith enables most of your plays because she is a quick effect. She's also really good if you just want to leave her on board for your opponent's turn. She causes disruption, triggering off your opponent's monsters unless you get to your traps. Definitely triple Lilith. I'm going to play triple Arima. A searcher for the field spell Lair Darkness. It's just really key in the deck. You definitely want to see that as soon as possible. And also lets you search for Darkest Diablos if you don't already have him in the hand or graveyard. Also some draw power if you just need something to tribute real quick to summon the Darkest Diablos, and then you can draw a card or search another one. So triple Arima. A little bit further from the generic, we play triple Armageddon Knight. A lot of people like to play 2. I like to play him at 3 because I want to see this guy pretty early on in the game if I don't see my combo pieces. He's really good because I can send, with him I can send Skarm to search Lilith, I could send Diablos, I could send, what's that card? Destrudo. I completely forgot what the card was called. Destrudo. And I think it's just, this is definitely a really key component. Also, if you happen to brick but you have like the Monster Reborn in hand, you can always just activate and send the Lilith to the grave and special summon the Lilith, which is a little neg, but sometimes you just have to do it. So I play triple Armageddon Knight. I also play double Duke Shade, and also another card that people don't really like too much. Tyranny here. I'm not sure why, because it's a free special summon that you can tribute your opponent's monster to summon. So while you may not get any huge advantage off this, it gives you more fodder for tributing. Like you could tribute your opponent's monster to summon this if the opponent's monster was like something, I don't know, something that was a problem. So you could just tribute it off, summon this, then summon Lilith or Arima and tribute Duke Shade off instead of having no monster on board. So it's just, he's there. He's also darks, of course, so it's an allure target. So he's not too important to keep in hand, but it's always there if you need it. So that's why I always like having that option. Also, it can get really big if you tribute off all your tokens or something like that. Then for the 1-ups, you want to play 1 Tour Guide, 1 Skarm, and 1 Destrudo. Tour Guide usually will do this and summon the Skarm and send him away, and then Skarm will search. Also, I play LAIR in the extra deck. So whatever, if you do end up banishing like a Lilith or an Armageddon Knight off of Lair Darkness, you can always bring it back. So there's that. And for the last 2 monsters of the deck, I decided to play 2 Eater a Million. This is where my deck becomes a lot different from anything I've seen so far. Eater a Million is really just a great card if you can fit it in a deck. It can't be tributed, and it can't be used as a Fusion Synchro SC summon. It can't use as a material for anything like that. so your opponent can't kaiju or anything, but you can't use it for your effects either. But this deck doesn't use the extra deck that much. If anything, you have a few synchros and maybe a link monster that you go into. So this card is always live. It's always a pain for your opponent to deal with. This card actually won me 2 games in the last tournament, this past local, so it's really good. I highly encourage that you play this card because it's like I said, it's a free summon. It's a free card that your opponent has to deal with, and it's not easy to deal with this unless you have a you can disrupt it with like card effects or something. But yeah, definitely you want to play 2 Eater a Million. Oh, you don't have to, but that's what I choose too. Let's say for the monsters, for the spells, you want to play triple layer darkness, double terraforming. The reason you don't play triple terraforming is because the field spell itself, it's not like it searches anything. It's not like a Trickstar Light Stage or a Union Hanger where if you see it, you get to activate it and search for something, which is really good, or like a diagram or something. It only helps you really take control of the game. But we also have Arima, so I think 2 terraforming is fine. You can also just cut the terraforming entirely and play something like Called by the Grave, which is something that I've been going back and forth on because of the fact that LAIR can just get like wrecked by Ghost Ogre in the end phase, any end phase. So it's up to you what you want to do, but I chose the to go with the 2 terraforming. You want to play triple Allure. I would say no less in this because all your entire deck is dark, so you shouldn't have a problem with Allure. And also, this deck lacks a lot of consistency sometimes, so you need all the draw power you can possibly get. Next, you want to play the 1-of spells, 1 Dragon Shrine, 1 Foolish, Monster Gate, Monster Reborn, and you can play Dark Hole or Raigeki. I only have 1 Raigeki, it's in another deck, so I'm playing with a Dark Hole in this one, but it should be a Raigeki if you have it. Monster Reborn, pretty self-explanatory. Monster Gate, you contribute your opponent's monster to summon something. Having 3 Armageddonites in the deck actually helps the consistency with this because there's more of a chance that it will hit a Armageddonite, which is nice to have that free summon. So there's that. I think it's just like you kind of have to play it if you're playing this deck because you're getting the tokens, you contribute off a token, you distribute your opponent's monsters, so you can get a free monster. Like Monster Gate's really good, and Foolish and Dragon Shrine, so you can send Destrudo or Destrudo or Diabolos. Diabolos is a dragon, not a fiend, so you could use Dragon Shrine on it. And Foolish, so you can also have the option of sending Skarm. I've actually done that a few times to actually save me out of a few situations. That's it for the spells. So I'm going to go into the traps. I play 2 Full Force, 2 Crush card, 1 Eradicator, 5 Virus cards. These, in my opinion, are the best ones for the most part. If you're going up against a BA player though, you're definitely going to want to put in like Grinning Grave or something like that because it sends pretty much all monsters time. So I got Full Force, 1500 less defense. This alone kills Trickstar. It does work against Pen Magician. Doesn't do too much against True Draco, so there's that. But for True Draco, you could just play the Crushed Card Virus. It's always an option. You always have the tokens, which always make this card live. And it destroys all monsters with 1500 or more attack. Although it should be known that after you destroy the monsters in your opponent's hand and all cards they control or whatever, your opponent will take no damage until the end of the next turn. And this effect doesn't linger, actually, so it's not like, oh, for the next 3 turns you destroy a monster with 1500 or more attack. That's not the case with this one, which is really, I didn't realize that until this weekend. I probably should have read the card better, but even so, I still think it's the best one. Also, keep in mind that your opponent has the option to destroy up to 3 monsters from their deck with 1500 or more attack. So using this against like an ABC is a really bad idea because they can just send the pieces and just have a free buster. So there's that. An Eradicator, this is by far the best one. This won me like so many games. You tribute monster at 2500 or more attack, and you declare a spell or trap. You look at all cards they control. and all cards from your opponent's hand destroy all of the type he chose. Eradicator definitely busted. And to finish off the deck, guys, you want to play triple back to the front. When you don't have a follow-up play with Lilith, when you have nothing else in your hand, you just always search back to the front, because you can always just recur it and then try to do something else from there. That way you can have the disruption. Hopefully you'll have a Diabolos or something, but definitely you want to play triple back to the front. It's a really safe card. It's a really great card in the deck, so you want to play, definitely want to play 3 no matter what type of build you are playing. That's going to be it for the main deck, guys. 40 cards, and now we're going to move on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, actually I think 3 cards, so but I'll let you know what they are. You want to play Ancient Fairy, Black Rose. This is supposed to be a Dark Strike fighter. I haven't gotten mine yet. I will be getting it next week though, so I'll be able to hopefully upload some type of gameplay with it. I like Samurai Destroyer. It's a level 7 that you can make, and it's just kind of like a cool little level 7 synchro, an offensive level 7 synchro, because Black Rose is kind of like Desperation, just blow up the board. Ancient Fairies to gather resources. Dark Strike Fighter, you're probably going to end up tributing itself off or something. So Samurai Destroyer is just a card that you can kind of have. It's offensive. Your opponent basically can't activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step when it battles a monster, so it's pretty good. So I definitely want to have the option of having Samurai Destroyer. So for the Xyz, let me get this out the way. For the Xyz, 1 Levier, Utopia the Lightning, Tornado Dragon, and Baguska. Pretty self-explanatory. These 2 are staples in anything that you can make rank 4s. Levier, because you can summon stuff back off a lure, and Utopia, just in case you can't tribute over something and you need to just beat over it. You want to play double Underclock for links, 1 Proxy Dragon, Deco Talker. You also are going to want to play 2 Link Spiders. These are 2 cards that I just didn't put in here during another deck, and honestly I just they're just in another deck. But yeah, you definitely want to play 2 more Link Spiders, and that should give you the 15 count for the extra deck. Usually what you want to do is, if you have, because if you can easily tribute 3 monsters more or less in a turn using this deck, so you can go Link Spider and Proxy Dragon and link that into a Deco Talker, which may just gives you more plays to go into, gives you a bigger beater on board. Just something else that you can do. That's gonna be it for the main and extra deck. Oh, of course, you gotta play a minimum of 4 tokens. You're also gonna need tokens for your opponent. Always remember, Lair of Darkness also gives tokens to your opponent, so always be mindful of that. Don't cheat your opponent, and I don't want you guys losing a game because you didn't give your opponents a token or something and he calls judge, you know. I do have a side deck. It's completely not tested at all. This is just like something I came up with on the spot, and I thought it'd be kind of cool, but I'll share it regardless. Double Vanity's Fiend. This has really good synergy with Duke Shade, because with Duke Shade you can tribute your opponent's monster, or like special summon it, and then immediately just tribute it off for Vanity's Fiend, and that's pretty much it. This locks out decks like this definitely just obliterates Trickstar. You summon this and they lose. There's nothing they can do, literally, unless they like Raigeki it, but of course that's an out to most things. So you got Vanity's Fiend, 2 Kaijus. You should probably play Gamma Seal Kamungus, but again, they're in the deck, so just have the Wind and the Fire, Dogran. Back Row Hate, definitely triple MST for the floodgates, like Masquerade Strict, Anti-Spell Fragrance actually hits this deck quite a bit, so definitely want to get rid of that. If you can't do it though, then you can just go into Destrudo Black Rose Dragon and just blow up the board, but it's not the most consistent. You're not going to have it like every single time, so you're going to want to side triple MST or Twin Twister. I don't have Twin Twister, so I just threw MST in there, or Cosmic Cyclone if you want. 3 Dark Light. This is really good against both Trickstar and Pendulum Magician. You have to tribute a dark monster, 1500 or more attack, destroy all monsters that special summon that turn. I've talked about I talked about this card before and how impressed I was by it. Basically, you wait till if you're playing against Pendulum Magician, you just wait until they're finished doing their big board, whatever. Then during the end phase, or as soon as they enter the battle phase or whatever, you just flip Dark Light, tribute any one of their monsters, and you just blow up their whole board. So Dark Light's actually pretty good. Triple Grinning. You save these against decks that either don't have too many monsters, like True Draco, or that cards like that activate that have need to have things in the grave to activate. So this is just really good for that. Like a BA, like I was saying earlier. Maybe not a Light Swarm because they would just send their Mizukis and just wait till next turn to activate all of them. 2 Deck Devastation. I've talked about how much I'm not too big a fan of this card, but it can come up where you're facing up against a deck with kind of semi-weak monsters initially. So just Deck Devastation to get rid of the peskiness. And yeah, guys, so that's going to be it for my pure Lair Darkness deck profile. Let me know what you guys thought. I'll definitely be getting that Dark Strike Fighter soon, so it'll be actually complete in about a week. And alright, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.